Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Formula One 2019. We are here. We are here and ready to go for another season. But before we get on with that, we have an exhibition race this week. Everybody can go ahead and ready up for real, and we will get on with it.
Copyright. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going for the win.
Oh my god, do we actually have a fucking stream?
I'm not, this is an exhibition race, I don't give a fuck.
When are we starting the real season?
Yes.
Next week?
Yep.
I got a question, are we doing normal schedule?
Hello, Facebook Live. Welcome to Formula One 2019. We're here for EWRL Formula One 2019 Classic Car Exhibition Race here at Hockenheim. These drivers, they are limited to the 1972, or I'm sorry, 1976 to 1979 cars. The 1972 car is optional. But we're here at Hockenheim, Germany, here for at the Hockenheim ring. It's going to be a blast tonight. We have 8 drivers here. Qualifying is 18 minutes. These drivers are about to get underway.
Oh,
the track really is open for business.
I just seen a 72 Lotus go by me.
And here we go. Luis Torres takes to the racetrack now. Yeah, we got a 1979 Ferrari out there. Let's see.
I'm gonna get my 72 engine out there.
I believe David also in a 79 Ferrari. Marco in the 1972 Lotus. Ben in the 1979 Ferrari. Malico in the 1972 Lotus. Rollo in the 1979 Ferrari. Dan in is that the 72 Lotus? I was gonna say that looks like the 78 Lotus to me. That's a 1978 Lotus that Dan is driving.
Yeah, that's the one I said looks like it should be an Indy car.
I agree. Foursquare in the 1979 Ferrari and David in the 1979 Ferrari.
God, this thing's horrible.
Was that you that spun in?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't know, a fucking V12 car, of course.
I barely hit 160. Jesus fuck.
Hey, back in 1972, that was fast.
You got the need for speed.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't die after the first race of the season. Oh god.
Pilsen Bridge.
Mm. I think it's the opposite way now, isn't it?
Oh, you're good. You could keep going.
Oh, I was getting out of your way. I wasn't ruining your op. I'm in a 72 Lotus.
Oh, no. We all got the right to the track. Yep.
Are you sure about that?
Thank you, though.
Prove that. I'm in a 72 Lotus. You can go on.
Oh, I actually hit 161.
Like the version of taking your...
Yes. Oh, for Ferrari at this track.
Damn.
God, this is. There's the championship. There's going to be the season finale. 04 Ferrari at Germany.
That's what the next F1 season should be.
Wow, my mic was
Different
muted this
classic
whole
car every
time.
race.
I
Yeah.
wow.
Yep.
Yep. That sucks. But yeah. I was still new to the background music, so I was trying to mute that. But yep, hello Facebook Live. Welcome to the EWRL F1 Classic Car Exhibition race here. Yep.
Wow, good time.
You've been watching qualifying with no commentary. That's probably better for you.
Go away, Dan. Go away.
Did you actually wreck Ben?
All right, so yep, 7 of the 8 drivers have set lap times. And how about Rolo, our new guy to the series, setting a 128.625, going top of the charts on that 79 Ferrari. David right behind a 128.9, and that 79 Ferrari. Dan up to a 129.576. Also in he's in the 78 Lotus. Foursquare in the 79 Ferrari, a 130.107. And then Marco, Luis, and Malik, I don't believe, have set clean lap times yet. They're also in the 170, or they're in the 1972 Lotus. We're also waiting on our defending series champion Ben Park in the 1979 Ferrari. Coming around on an out lap right now. We'll be starting a timed lap in just a few moments. Let's ride on board with our series champ. The magician behind the wheel, that is our defending series champ, Ben Park, goes third quickest, a 129.227 in that 1979 Ferrari. There's a caution in sectors 1 and 2. I believe that's a car on an out lap. You'll see, noticing new to our broadcast this season, we will have a track map to the right side. You'll be able to see where the slope cars are. Dan on an out lap. We'll also have Ben on a cool down lap. Luis up to a 133.911, topping Malenko. Malenko right now letting fast cars by. Again, these guys, they are used to more modern F1 cars, so they are not used to these classic cars. This is just a trial event, our exhibition race here at the Hockenheim ring in our 1970s F1 racing vehicles. Just a showcase and a little fun this Sunday night, knowing that many people aren't able to do much better things at this point due to the current circumstances around us. Yes. That's what I was trying to talk to y'all about, but my mic was muted when I asked the question. So yeah, now do we have a... I was gonna... hold on. We're gonna... So there's a few options we can do, and I want y'all's feedback. Obviously, right now we're running the classic cars. This is a viable option, but there's a couple different ways we can do this if we're gonna go along with this. We can run the a normal schedule of F1 tracks with these classic cars and maybe have it divided into two classes or one class track or something. Or we can... I was going to say, or we can do a different classic car every week at a different F1 track. That would also be up to you guys. Let's see. Also, I heard that y'all really kind of got bored of the multiplayer cars. So I don't know if y'all still wanted to do that, but that's also an option. No way in hell we're doing F2. I repeat that. No way in hell we're going to do an F2 series. But we could also do just the modern F1 cars on equal performance. So mull over those options. I'll post the poll after tonight's race. I know David is going to be fighting hard for his classic car idea, but I know many others are fans of different options. So those will be out on the table. We'll poll those after tonight's race. Anybody else have any other suggestions they want to share, or about what we do specifically? I have a couple more things on the agenda. That would be the option, yeah. So the poll would be, what are we doing Sunday nights? Pretty much. Alright. Right. Alright. Yeah, I understand people have different interests. And that's what we'll be polling. But again, I just want what I can get the best driver turnout in, and ultimately the best driver happiness out of, you know. At the very least, if you're not going to be fast, at least have fun driving the damn thing. Yeah. Whatever would give y'all the best hour and a half on a Sunday night. Next on the agenda, it's been brought up, is custom setups. I know there's very different opinions on it. My personal opinion on custom setups is we could lose the competitiveness we have at this point, or it could bring a whole different type of competitiveness. I don't know until we try it, obviously. I'll leave it up to you guys. If y'all want to do another exhibition next week with custom setups or something, let me know. Yeah, or if y'all have any suggestions here. Right now, I like the 5 presets because you're not entirely limited to setups. You still get a little free range, but everybody has the same options. So it's up to y'all. If anybody has any input on that. Yeah, no, I agree. I have thought about it for seasons before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have... I'll have it polled after the race. Again, whatever y'all think would be best. That... But at the same time, I was gonna say, but it's not the same thing if you have people getting YouTube setups and people who work on their cars and setups like with actual time, and at the same time, if people who are actually gonna hardcore make setups don't understand everything about the setup, that would put them at a disadvantage too. They can always, you know. All right. Again, it'll be a poll option. It really is up to you guys. Oh yeah, I understand. As we come here to the closing here of our qualifying session, 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock or thereabouts. Right now we have Rolo on the top of the charts, Ben 2/10 behind, David a good 4/10 behind, Dan right now 4th, Foursquare 5th, Markle 6th, Luis 7th, Malenko in 8th. And how about Ben going top of the charts right as we say it, a 1:28.393. The next thing is pit assist. Should that be turned off, or what? What do you think? What we have now is fine. I think it'd be interesting to see everybody try to come down to pit road speed. Do you think it affects the racing in any bit having pit assist on or off? That's fair. But at the same time, people who race with no assist are at the disadvantage that they can't just go full throttle into the pit lane. There's different sides to it, which is why I want your guys' opinion. Yeah. I don't know who exactly is, but I know that is the case if you have it on. Yeah, Azerbaijan really got caught Benna. But a track where the pit entry line is right off the straightaway or the corner, it's a real advantage. You can still stay at your race speed. Kind of like Russia. You don't really have to slow down too much. Yeah. Yeah, so at those tracks, that's where having pit assist on is an advantage to drivers, and those who actually run hardcore no assist are at the disadvantage. So that's why I brought it up as a topic of discussion. All right, so this qualifying draws to a close. Now it's going to be fun here at the Hockenheim ring to see what we got. Ben right now on the provisional pole over Rolo and David. Dan is not in contention for another lap, but how about Foursquare on a timed lap right now, running 1.2 seconds in the green. Mark also on a timed lap, Luis and Malenko, they are done, so it's all coming down to whether Foursquare or Mark will have something to say about it. Here comes Foursquare off the final corner down to start finish straight, and he will go third quickest, a 128.682. He'll go third quickest. How about Merkel? He will not be setting a competitive lap time. He is in the 1972 Lotus, to be fair. He'll be sixth quickest. Dan is out of fuel. Oh yeah, added competition. And he says he wants to bring in friends. I thought he was going to bring them in tonight, but doesn't appear to be the case tonight. But we will see. So, oh, that's the difference between the Ferraris and the Lotuses. In a 78 Lotus, I know. So he was actually supposed to run with us last season. I don't know what happened last season. I guess it got lost in translation. Oh, Luis is running the 76 Ferrari. That's why he looked a little different. Alright, there's your classification after qualifying. So, after a short break and formation lap, we'll get right to racing here at the Hockenheim ring. Here for our EWRL F1 Classic Car Exhibition race at Hockenheim. Here for the German Exhibition Grand Prix. Gonna be a little cloudy to start here. As these drivers get ready to embark on the all-important formation lap. Oh, it's not just cloudy. So an added challenge for these guys. It's going to turn into rain later in the Grand Prix. All right, so here we go. 34 laps, but before that, we go on our all-important formation lap. So how about David and Markle? They're not going to participate in our formation lap. This man was in anti-stall. Okay. On a formation lap. Alright, so let's go about our starting lineup for tonight's EWRL F1 Classic Car Exhibition race at the Hockenheim ring. Row 1, we have a pair of 1979 Ferraris. We have Ben on the front row starting alongside of him. Newcomer, we have Rolo. Row 2, we'll have a 1979 Ferrari of Foursquare, and starting alongside of him, we will have another 1979 Ferrari of David. Row 3, we'll have the 1978 Lotus of Dan and the 1972 Lotus of Markle. Row 4, we'll have the 1976 Ferrari of Luis and the 1972 Lotus of Malenko. So great showcase of classic F1 cars here tonight at the Hockenheim ring here at Hockenheim, Germany. It's going to be a fun 34 lapper on our hand tonight. Apparently, it's supposed to rain later in the Grand Prix. Let's have a blast, boys. We'll kick off our fourth EWRL F1 season. Uh-oh. Wow. Alright, but here we go. These drivers, They're lined up and ready to go. It's time to bring the action. We've got 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. How about Ben again off to the great start? Rolo trying to hang tough with him. Foursquare now looking to get up to second around the outside. Through turn 1 we go. The treacherous turn 1. How about Dan and that 78 Lotus? Oh, and there goes, I believe that is David. Off through turn 1, falls all the way back to the 8th position. Luis goes shooting straight off. How about Dan and that 78 Lotus trying to work his way around the 79 Ferrari of Foursquare. Malico off into the grass. That 72 Lotus. A little bit disadvantaged in terms of technology of the era. And just lost control under acceleration. Oh, no, must have been contact with the 76 Ferrari. That's what we're hearing. How about Luis back in 6th and now ahead of David. So right now it is Ferrari, 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 and Lotus, your top 4. Oh, we're not going to count the 72 Lotuses. They're not here for real. They're just showcases. And Marco's gone off. Trying to hold on to it. There goes David. A caution in sector 3. I believe that is still Markle. Yep, trying to get the car back underway. And it's the 72 Lotuses having trouble early. You'd think with the slower top speeds, they'd be able to keep the cars under control better than the rest of the grid. But there's no speed in that car. So how about Ben out to the early lead, our defending series champ right now, out to a 1 second lead over Rolo. How about Rolo trying to close the gap through the hairpin? Well, our newcomer is from Chile. Oh, Ben off in the grass, trying to keep the car under control. How about Rolo? A huge advantage now through the right-hander. He'll try to close the gap as he head into the... Oh, goodness, I forgot this section. Yep. But, Rolo tries to close the gap now. And it's starting to rain on the circuit. Ben trying to keep the car under control. Here we go. The battle for the race lead is on. Ben and Rolo. Will DRS be enabled this time by the start-finish line? How about... What? Force of habit. Force of habit. But Rolo with the fastest lap. And yeah, the technology was not that advanced to support DRS at this time. How about Rolo looking to the inside? This is going to be treacherous on a dampening racetrack. Under braking into the hairpin. Ben trying to keep the car under control. He'll get it. The throttle down. How about Malenko wrecking off of turn number 1? And now the battle for the race lead enhances. These two getting closer and closer as the rain starts to pour down. Ben giving way to the inside. Here comes Rolo up the inside. Oh, they make contact! There must have been a little bit of lag. Rolo will fall back to the 4th position. And now Foursquare all over the gearbox of Ben. So we should expect pit stops for wet tires in the coming laps. That is David who's gone off. And how about Ben and Foursquare and Dan? And Rolo stays out. But the top three, they come into pit for wet tires. Those are two 79 Ferraris and a 78 Lotus in the pit lane. Everybody fitting sets of wets. Here comes David and Luis in. That'll be the 79 and 76 Ferrari. Marco comes in that 72 Lotus. Malenko so far off the pace, the pit lane will be clear by the time he gets there. Caution in sector 3, around goes the 72 Lotus. That's Malenko going around. And still trying to get around, was off on the drag strip, very slick. And he cannot get the car straight. It is doing a 4th spin. How about a 5th spin? Do I hear 6 spins? All right, how about 7 spins? It is doing donuts. I don't think he's trying anymore. And Rollo on dry tires, he has a 12.5-second advantage over Ben. He'll be pitting hopefully this time for wets. He'll be approaching via... And he finally got underway. I would assume up to double-digit spins for the Lotus. Here comes the 79 Ferrari of Rollo into the pits. He cannot speak. He has headphones, but no mic. So Rollo is in as soon as he hits his pit box. Ben goes to the race lead. He'll be coming a lap of a 72 Lotus of Malenko. Ben going really wide through turn 1. And carry a high rate of speed. Yes, it's not possible. How about this battle between Dan and Rollo? Comes out from the race lead back and forth, but that is about where he was before the contact, or I'm sorry, after the contact he had with Ben. How about Foursquare in the grass? Must have gone onto the throttle a little too quickly. Here comes Rollo looking up the inside of Dan. Oh, and they come together a little bit. I just think it's that new wet tire set of wet tires he has, trying to get used to them. Your treacherous conditions here at the Hockenheim ring. But Rollo up into the second position. He has 7.8 seconds. Oh, and a lunge from Dan around the outside. Rollo goes sliding. He'll keep the car under control. And he'll try to get back going once again. He'll stay out in front of Foursquare. So right now staying on the podium. And not getting much love as a newcomer early in the event. And he's already left the session. I don't blame him after being run into twice. That's fair. I understand. Foursquare goes by the AI-driven 79 Ferrari. And now Luis right now sat in the 5th position. Maybe he can get a 4th place if he keeps the car under control. It was weird. Oh, and Markle trying to keep the 72 Lotus under control through the gravel trap on the inside. Keeps it straight. David now looking to close in on that 72 Lotus. Yeah, that was the risk that we ran by having somebody from Chili try to run with us. It's just hard to have connectivity over that long of a distance. How about Markle and David going toe-to-toe for the 6th position? That's a 79 Ferrari having at it with the 72 Lotus through the hairpin. David with the advantage. There's a caution in Sector 2. That's Malico again. 2. Can we get 3? Can we get 4? Can we get maybe 5? And he'll have 5 full spins. Yeah. So Ben, now your race leader with 7.5 seconds out over brother Dan, and Dan has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I would assume cutting turn number 1. Yeah, we're on lap 7 of 34, and it is raining, and we are in slower vehicles. Caution in Sector 1. That's David going around through turn 1. Couldn't keep the car under control on acceleration, but Marco's losing it into the barrier. He lost it under braking. And these two are going to be wrecking for 6th place. But how about Luis keeping it smooth right now in 5th? Caution in Sector 1, that's Malika going around, and he still hasn't wrecked himself out. But he's lost the right front wing, and he finally, and a safety car is deployed. Just make this race even longer. The 72 Lotus is out, and that tire is rolling through this gravel trap. That driver is hurt. And the lack of safety in these cars. And Foursquare, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Yep. So the safety car picks up Ben as the race leader in that 79 Ferrari. He's going to bunch the field right back up. We'll have the 78 Lotus of Dan in 2nd, the 79 Ferrari of Foursquare 3rd, the AI-driven 79 Ferrari of Rollo in 4th, the 76 Ferrari of Luis in 5th, the 79 Ferrari of David will be 6th, and Marco into the pit lane. That's 72 Lotus. Working lap 8 of 34 here at the Hockenheim ring. This is going to be a long one, boys. So here we go. We start lap 9. Ben does not hit the pit lane for fresh tires. Neither does brother Dan, nor Foursquare or Rollo. See, Luis is in. Oh, and Markle has DNF'd under the safety car. Oh, he just went straight off into the hairpin. We won't be able to get a good shot of that one. Yeah, the car is gone. I like how the one who asked, what are we doing after the race, is left before we even get to halfway. Oh, he's joined right back.
Hey, stop talking.
All right. Oh, they just left the session. Never mind. I was gonna ask if he wanted to join me, but he won't. All right, so we got 6 guys left in the event. Rolla did disconnect, so we have 5 human drivers left in the event, working lap 9 of 34. It is just an exhibition, so not much reason in staying if you're already having a bad race, but they did do that to themselves. They did choose to run the 72 Lotus, and they are out of the race because they were just so far behind, and there was no point in running in that car. A safety car was only meant for, I guess, the modern F1 cars. When in class cars, it's kind of hard to stay at the pace. Right now, working lap 10 of 34. Yeah, Luis, I believe, only gained like 3 seconds under the safety car period. And David, not much more luck. It looks like Luis is finally catching the safety car cue, so there may be some light for David. If the safety car goes in this time, they might be here. Are you sure you didn't want to join me, Malenka? Luis has gone straight off in the hairpin, so he's going to lose some more time trying to catch the safety car cue. Yeah. Oh, that's great. And the safety car has decided it'll be going in this lap, so Luis may not catch the safety car cue. David, well, that was not really a question. And looks like Luis did catch the cue. Oh, he's got to slow down for the AI. Oh, it's going to be close if David makes it, actually. As long as he's not being restricted, which I think he is. Here we go. Ben to the final corner. And green flag back in the air. Ben trying to keep it under control. He goes straight off through the final corner. Dan takes the race lead. And Ben's got to rejoin the circuit. Everybody shoots around him. So Ben back to the 5th position. And how about Dan taking over the race lead in the 1978 Lotus? Already pulls out to a 2nd ahead of Foursquare. Foursquare trying to close that gap. How about our 2-time series champion, Dan? 2 of a point. Can't win a race all season. He had 21 chances and he'll win the exhibition. There it is. But now we are just working lap 11 of 34. Still a lot of racing to go here in the treacherous conditions at the Hockenheim ring. And how about Luis onto the podium right now in 3rd? How about that story? Ben up in the 4th. But we got a queue of cars here behind Luis. Luis under pressure, trying to hold on to that third spot. Here goes Ben to the inside. They both go sliding, and Luis holds on to the spot for the moment, trying to stay out of Ben's way. There goes Ben and David right on by. David trying to get onto the podium. And around goes David in front of Luis. He'll collect Luis, and around both of them go. Rolo comes to a stop. And Luis is backwards trying to get back underway. So that's something that did affect 3 cars. So I'm hearing a lot of this, like. Yeah, it was your idea. But, it doesn't hurt to try. Especially in a 9 points race. And, I mean... Well, I mean... that's what it's sounding like. Another talking point I meant to actually talk about at Monaco. The issue came up, and it just kind of got brought up right there. Unfortunately, at the expense of Luis, we had a couple pileups in the hairpin, but no safety car came out as a result. We already had 4 safety cars that race, to be fair. So, and as being an exhibitionist, what do y'all think of maybe at special points like that where 3 cars get involved? Like, that's half the field, basically. Would that be like a manual safety car? Maybe the leader just slows down to like 90 miles per hour. Everybody queues up and we get back going. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not calling one now, but... Wow. That was 2011 Montreal, right? Oh, we started to test that gap at Hockenheim this past season, didn't we? In real life. But, yeah, that could... I think that'll be something I'll pull post-race as well. I thought about... In special events like that literally affected half the field of cars, we could call a manual safety car. It wouldn't be just 1 car spins or anything, no. That wouldn't result in a safety car. Even light 2-car, maybe heavy 2-car incidents. It would be a discretionary call. But back when... This used to be a NASCAR series. When we would run on road courses, our limit would be 3 cars minimum for a manual caution to be deployed. So, it would be something like that. Oh, he's in AI. I forgot about that. He did have to serve a penalty. Foursquare did. He's back to third. So the Park brothers, first and second. Dan leading, has a 10-second advantage over brother Ben. With 20 laps to go this time by the start-finish line. Dan in the 1978 Lotus. Ben in the 1979 Ferrari. So I wonder if Dan wins today's race, will that affect influence his vote anyway. That's fair. And we have 21 laps to go at this moment, coming around to 20. Laps to go. Dan has a 9.3 second advantage heading through turn number 1. He actually gained a second, 2 seconds there, 9.5 the gap heading into turn 1. Let's see how Ben fares. He'll go wide, tries to get the car under control, but it's at 9.2 seconds now. See, David right now riding 4th and Luis sat 6th. Those two were the two drivers caught up in the incident coming off of the final corner a lap after the safety car restart. Yeah, Ben must have made a mistake as he's now back to 10.1 seconds behind his brother. And now Foursquare has a chance at second. The Ferrari in front of him getting bigger out of that miniature windscreen. And Ben's gone off! It's our series champion playing in the grass. Maybe wants to do a little bit of landscaping as Foursquare goes by for second. But Ben trying to keep the car under control. Those tires may be wearing soon. Here comes Foursquare into the pit lane. Ben maybe thought about it, but couldn't get there in time ultimately if he was thinking about going this lap. But Foursquare into the pit lane. He wants tires, and he's going to get tires. To fit on a fresh set of wets. David into the pit lane as well. Well, you're not refueling the car, so. So Foursquare right now sat third and a 5-second penalty for David. Back to the question about do we want pit assist on or not. Gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit exit line early. And he's now 4 seconds in front of Luis. How important that becomes. And I mean, he's starting to gap Luis already up to 6 seconds. And David is on a fresh set of wet tires to Luis's somewhere around 13 lap old wets. So Luis is now riding 12 lap old wet, so that was a quality estimate. How about Ben into the pit lane? Fresh set of wets for him. And that 79 Ferrari, we'll see how he comes out in relation to Foursquare. Foursquare goes right on by. David crossing the white line again on exit. That was bold. Okay. In case you didn't get, that was a joke. So yeah, Dan now 13 lap old wets. Foursquare sat second, 29 seconds back, but fresh set of wet tires. So Dan's pit stop could be in the near future. He stays out another lap. Foursquare on a fresh set of wets should be going to the end or close to the end. Again, these guys went about 13 laps on their tires, and we have 16 laps to go, so it could be close. They would have to do a little tire conservation. And don't forget, we had a safety car period. And now the battle is on between David and the AI. Looks like David wins that one. On an AI. Fascinating. Oh, and he's gonna blow it to right back. Loose off of turn one. Heavy defending. He'll hold on to the position. And now sat fourth. Oh, and around goes David. He's gone straight off in the long sweeping left-hander. Giving the spot right back up to the AI, and now Luis back into the picture for fifth as David cannot get the car underway. Luis may possibly be in AI as well. That was too perfect of a corner. Well, Ben's gone off through the long sweeping left-hander. Except race leader Dan with 15 lap-old wet tires, but can very well be trying to split the rest of this stint in half to try to maximize tire life on both sides of his pit stop. Speaking of pit stop, here comes Dan. 25-second advantage over Foursquare. Yeah, Foursquare's not even to pit entry, and Dan's already at pit exit. It is the longest pit lane at Silverstone, yeah. So another idea's come up in my head as I'm thinking. We have not really many battles on the track. Had a lot of time to think. The AI EWRL is heading into the pit lane. So that will finally give David the 4th position once again. Maybe we do a modern F1 car series, and then certain tracks on the schedule that have a short track, we could do invitationals with the classic cars. But only at the short tracks. I've only played 5 races in career mode. You're not gonna really get me with that. Nerds on season 3. I'm just shy of Monaco. Maybe I should play that. Racing Point. Sisters! I think Racing Point is up to 4th. That's tragic. So Foursquare has cut the advantage down to 10 seconds to Dan. Ben is 22.9 seconds behind Dan. How about David? 44.8 seconds behind Dan. And Luis, 73 seconds behind Dan. This is just a showcase of classic cars, not really for points, just for fun, just for bragging rights, not really anything else. So I can... and I can finally, he'll finally have me stop criticizing him for not winning. That's a lie, but when he finally wins one of our actual F1 points paying races, once again, after being king for so long. He's not even finishing second. He's not even... Oh, I was gonna say, he's not even finishing on the podium. Okay, sometimes, yeah, you're right. You're right. When Marco wrecks, or... That's fair. And Dan's pulled his gap to 11.5 seconds over Foursquare.
What time is it?
12.3 seconds to gap. Oh, David trying to keep the car under control heading into turn number 2. Dirty S, turn number 3, and then on to the long sweeping left-hander of turn 4.
Okay.
Let's go on board with Dan for one of these blistering lap times in heavy rain.
Are you gonna eat or not?
David's gone off, so that'll ruin our onboard lap with Dan. Thanks, David. Yeah, there is nothing on. It's not like you had one before, really. It shouldn't handle much different. Alright, let's try that again with a blistering lap with Dan. Our two-time series champ, he still got it in. A 5-second penalty once again for crossing the pit lane exit white line, and he's going to go straight off. And he's not DNF'd himself. He didn't even damage the front wing. And he retired from the session. And we look to be okay. Yeah, it's just driving. He's retired from the session. It will not bring out a safety car. So, David, how are you liking your own idea? 0? Oh, not even a 1. Dang. Oh yeah, I did want to try to bring constructors back early in the season. Teammates kind of fell through right off the bat, but I think that'd be easier to do with modern F1. Yeah. So I think it'd be something we could try. Again, I'll pull all of this post-race. If you have any more ideas, please message me after the race. I'll definitely look over. I'll talk about it with you. Look, anything to make it more enjoyable for you guys and just a better racing product, a better visual product also. That's fair. Yeah, we do one event at, yeah, I like that. So we're doing the 2004 Ferrari at Monaco. Maybe. In the wet. without traction control, without a setup, please do. I don't even know where it is on the leaderboard. When I said it was like months ago, to be fair. I said it's 6. It could be like 50th right now. Probably, but I was proud of it when I said it. I was like, oh, 6th. Oh, it didn't just come out, but it was a... Okay, maybe a month. Yeah, I expect it to drop a little bit. But 44th quickest with just that car, or like a 44th of the Red Bulls. Yeah. Generation. Oh, I know. I counted mine. Yeah, I know. But I counted how many 2004 Ferraris were ahead of me. Yeah, that's fair. There was 2010 Red Bulls and 2009 Bronze. But that was it. Not too many. I was like 10th overall. But 6th sounds better, doesn't it? It makes a better story. Nobody cares about it besides Jensen Button. I don't even know if he cares. No. I don't care. I've never driven a car. So how about Dan? A 20.9 second advantage as Foursquare comes to the pit lane. He will not make it to the on his set of wets. Foursquare is down and away in the 3rd position. His closest competition is not for a mile. Well, yeah, but you passed them. Yeah, and a good 11 seconds in front of Foursquare. Yeah, Luis has gone already, 1 down. Sure appears like that. Sure appears like that. And that is the next card Dan is coming to lap. If he laps it in the next 6 laps. 6 laps to go. .27-second advantage over brother Ben. Dan holds. Does Ben pit for wets, or we stay out there, hold on to the 2nd position, and try to fend off Foursquare? Rello right now, his AI sat 4th. Luis is 1 entire lap down. And would be 115 seconds behind Dan. As the AI in front of Dan is 97 seconds in behind Dan. About to be lapped. So Hockenheim ring in wet conditions, in old cars with little downforce, high horsepower, very, very treacherous conditions as Ben keeps the car under control. Looked like he was going to lose it for a second. And it's looking more and more like we'll go to modern F1 cars, but it will be pulled post-race. I like the idea of doing the modern F1 cars equal performance with all-star race-esque type events with the classic cars at the short versions of the circuits. Maybe we do it like an hour before the race or after the race or whatever. I mean, they're not for points anyway. It's just for fun. Maybe it'd be like 14 laps before the race, but I don't know. So how about Dan coming up to lap traffic, 101 seconds behind him. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while since I said Dan is lapping somebody. Working around the outside of the lap car, easy does it. Around he goes, cleared. Very, very smooth car control from Dan. Wouldn't expect anything less. 4 laps remaining here at the Hockenheim ring. We'll also be polling the use of full setups, deploying manual safety cars in special events, pit assist, and all that jazz. It's been a long one, but I have 4 troopers still with me. If Luis is still here, not sure. I think he is. He's not running the racing line at the moment, so I would say. I'll just have to judge how he goes into the hairpin here. Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone way wide. So yeah, we have 4 troopers here. Yeah, Dan, Ben, Foursquare, Luis. I do appreciate y'all sticking out. It is just an exhibition race. I know. Maybe you don't have anything better to do. Maybe you do. Hopefully the start of the season means more to people to stay a little bit longer. Hopefully we get a bigger field. Do expect Larry to be making a return next Sunday. And hopefully others. I wouldn't be surprised either. At the same time, it would be hard, you know, just to get a stable connection. Being from Chile, I do appreciate, you know, the broader spectrum of drivers I'm trying to reach. Yeah, he's good. Hope he stays. We will see. We'll see also if he participates in the polls on the page. I'll take that as a sign he'll still want to participate. Rolo. It's PSN LS F1 Zanelli. Not quite sure where the correlation is, but maybe it's just a league name. I'm assuming from the LS F1 part. How about Dan? The 1978 Lotus. Picked that car. A little bit of an outlier from the rest. There's a couple other Lotuses, but none as a 1978 Lotus. Looks like he's having a blast. Yep, the rain has stopped a bit ago. Track is drying. There's still the rooster tail off the tires, but with 2 laps to go, most of these guys are at a distance that they can pit and not worry about the guy behind them not pitting. Maybe Ben over Foursquare might not be able to do that, but there's still rooster tails off of Dan's car with 2 laps to go. Very smooth drive from our 2-time series champ, and still showing why. Amazing car control in a car that many others aren't really used to or couldn't really get a grasp of. He made few mistakes, if any, today. Still got a lap and a half to go, obviously, but just remarkable. Yeah, with 29 seconds out in front of his brother, there's no reason for him to even touch the throttle coming out of the hairpin. Up to 30 seconds ahead of brother Ben. One of our later race end times. It's already 8:23 p.m. Eastern time. Still got a couple laps to go, or coming around to 1 lap to go. And Dan coming through the final corner. 1 lap to go at the Hockenheim ring for Dan. That 1978 Lotus. What a drive it has been for him. He has 3 seconds. And I spin. The track really becoming dry now. The rooster tails are fading. No longer off the front tires, just the rear tires. Dan up to a 36-second advantage into the final 2 corners. It's been a minute, but another win for Mr. Dan Park in our EWRL F1 series. It's not an official win on the wins list, but it's still something. It's still a full-length league race against very competitive drivers. Tune in tomorrow night. We'll have Ben coming through the final sector. It's going to be a while before I say that one again. So far behind the race leader. How about 37.5 seconds? And Ben comes off the final corner, finishes second, about 4 square. I come across the line in third. And Luis will come off of the final corner. He will finish 5th place, 1 lap down. Oh, 96%. Oh my goodness. So Luis never went AI that race. Good for him. What a trooper. Fine. And how about that? The only driver to get time penalties added on to the end of his race time as Dan. I know David had 10 seconds worth of time penalties. Relax, Ben. It's not even a points-paying race. Nah, but Dan... Oh my goodness. Actually, it's not that many. There. Yeah, turn 1, we know. Okay. Yep, see ya, 4 square. Yep, make sure you check the polls. Yep. Let's see. All right, Dan. Yep. See ya, Ben. Dan, how does it feel? Never. It's been a minute, but a win. Win's a win. What are your thoughts for next season? What cars would you rather drive? Just here to. All right. Well, congratulations on the win. We'll see you next Sunday for the start of our new season. All right. That's going to do it from the Hockenheim ring. It was a little long, it was a little slow, but that's what classic cars in the rain gets you. Don't know quite what we're doing next, but tune in next Sunday. We will be racing. Whether it's an exhibition or a points race, we'll find out. But make sure you're there. Saturday, we'll be trying our first Project Cars League race event. It'll be the modern stock cars at the Daytona Road Course at night. That's going to be a blast. So until then, we will see y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay inside if y'all have to. Yeah. I'll take care of yourselves.